It's time to let your opponents die smiling with a brand new Purple Yellow Donquixote Rosinante leader from OP12 Legacy of the Master. And if you're looking for how to play him, here's everything you need to know. Rosenante is a 4-life 5k power Purple Yellow leader with 2 abilities. The first is a once per turn ability. If your Trafalgar Law will be KO'd, you may add 1 card from the top of your life cards to your hand instead. The second is an activate main once per turn, Dawn -1 ability. The next time you play Trafalgar Law with a cost of 4 or more from your hand during this turn, the cost will be reduced by 2. Literally cheating 2 Dawn. We haven't seen something like this since Kinemon from OP02. Similar to OP09's Buggy, our game plan is to get well ahead of our opponents early by cheating out large body characters ahead of curve. Then, using that early game lead, we close out the game before they can recover from that power gap. And what's better is our leader will also be able to insulate our pieces from removal in both combat and abilities. So we're building Law Tribal, so we have to start by looking at every single Trafalgar Law card we have available to play. And that's my boy. I'm always looking. On release, we will have 7 Trafalgar Laws playable for us in purple and yellow. There's also an 8th Law that we'll mention that isn't out quite yet, but he's really important if we want to make this deck the best possible. But let's start with our newest additions from OP12. This new Law is a 7-cost 8k power character with on play if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your down deck and set it as active. Then, all your Donquixote Rosinante characters and Heart Pirate type characters gain 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Pretty great to give our tribal deck a power boost effect, plus with all of these laws, 4 cost or more, you should be reading them as if they cost 2 or less, thanks to Leader's ability. So for 5 Dawn, we establish a 7k body that anthems our board and gives us back an active Dawn, making him closer to 4 Dawn, putting our leader's effect at net neutral and us super ahead on tempo. We also have this 6-cost Law that's a 7k power character with 1k counter and blocker. Not exciting on its face, but getting to play a 7k power character for 4 that immediately affects the board by blocking is a pretty great tempo swing. Outside of OP12, we have 2 Searcher Laws in OP09's 1-drop Law and OP05's 3-drop Law. 1-drop Law is a 1-cost 2k power character with 1k counter that has on play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Stroll Hat Crew or Heart Pirates type card with a cost of 2 or more and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Meanwhile, OP05's Law is a 3-cost 5k power character with, when attacking, if your opponent has more Dawn cards on their field than you, look at the top 5 cards from your deck. Reveal up to 1 Heart Pirates type card and add it to your hand, placing the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. With our leader's ability being an activate main that doesn't require we immediately play a Law card we're discounting, or even one at all, it's really easy to keep our Dawn under our opponents for effects like this to be online at all times, or to trigger Dawn minus abilities. Notably, we also have this new Rosenante Searcher from OP12, a 1-cost 2k power character with 1k counter. And on play, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Trafalgar Law and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. But since our OP9 Trafalgar Law can hit all the laws, plus other targets we may want to include, I find them to be a bit stronger as the default 4-up, with Rosenante filling out any additional 1-drop Searcher slots we want in the deck. Next up, Starter Deck 10's Law, a 4-cost 5k power character with 1k counter and blocker, plus an on-play Dawn -1 ability that trashes 2 cards from our opponent's hand if they have 7 or more cards. It's been amazing hand disruption since day 1 and continues to be here in this deck. We also got this brand new Promo Law, a 4-cost 5k power character with 2k counter, with trigger if your leader has a Supernova type and you and your opponent have a total of 5 or less life cards, play this card. So while we won't be getting that free play, a searchable 2k counter that's also a 5k we can play for 2 is still really great in this deck to fill it out. Plus, it's Supernova traded, which will come in handy for this next one. OP10's 7-drop Trafalgar Law, a 7-cost 9k power character with on play, reveal up to 1 Supernova's type character card from your hand and add it to the top of your life cards face down. Then give up to 1 rested Dawn card to one of your Supernova type leaders. Including himself, we have 4 Supernova type Laws to include in the deck, and all of them are already 3 or 4-ups, which gives us up to 15 targets besides the copy we're already playing to put into life on Laws alone. And doing that at turn early thanks to leader ability while establishing a 9k body on board can be absolutely backbreaking, all for 5 Dawn. Man, that's a lot of walls. But not as many as our members who get access to this and all of our content up to 2 weeks early, plus emotes and other fun perks. I mean, seriously, we couldn't do any of this without you guys. Now, I did say we currently have 7 laws, but then there's one more I want to address. That's because we're missing a promo law, and while we don't have a release date for it yet, it really is what pushes this deck. This promo law is a 4-cost 6k power character with blocker, and on play, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as rested. And without this guy, we're sort of taking a big tempo loss. He's the best statted law to discount for your turn 2 play. He's a blocker that helps insulate your life, so the turn he comes down as a 6k power character, and then starts pressuring your opponent immediately with a body that's hard to swing into and hard to remove with your leader's ability. Plus, again, he gets us back the Dawn spent for the discount ability, so we are ahead on character curve without being behind on Dawn curve. So by the end of this, I'm going to give you 2 lists, one with this card in it. It's a more aggressive tempo version of the deck, and a version you can play immediately upon release that lends itself to being more mid-range, rampy, that can really get by without this early game aggressor to initiate the tempo. And of course, if you have any suggestions for cards that we should be playing over promo law, or any other spicy techs you're working on in the meantime, share it in the comment section down below. It could really help someone else out with their build. But let's start by shoring up this deck with great support cards. OP12 Secret Rare Bartholomew Kuma is a great addition. He's a 6-cost 7k power character with 1k counter, and on play you may trash 1 card from your hand. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then this character gains 2 costs until the end of your opponent's next turn. And a sweet insulation effect that says, opponent's turn on KO, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Meaning, once he hits board, he's typically going to stay there. Since we'll be using our life as a resource to insulate our board, adding him along with OP10's 7-cost law will make sure we're never running low on life while we develop the top end characters to our board. OP06's Hitokiri Kamazo is also a great inclusion. He's a 4-cost 5k power character with 2k counter, and your turn once per turn, when a Dawn card is returned from your field to the Dawn deck, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. So he's a 2k counter that can hit leader off nat, and removes small blockers or small attackers from meta decks like Red Rayleigh, since our leader ability can Dawn minus anytime once per turn. Plus, he's supernova traded, meaning you can add him to your life for cost off 7-cost law. Another 2k inclusion I'd recommend is Sanji from OP07 or Usohaji from Starter Deck 18, since they can both be searched off our OP09 Searcher law. Sanji is a 6-cost 6k power character with 2k counter and blocker, plus a passive ability that says that the number of Dawn cards on your field is at least 2 less than the number on your opponent's field. Give this card in your hand minus 3 cost, allowing you to easily multiplay while establishing a large attacker and blocker. Definitely great in our aggressive version of the deck. Meanwhile, Usohachi from Starter Deck 18 is a 3-cost 3k power character with 2k counter. And on play, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Really great for our mid-range option where our Dawn count is consistently higher and allows us to set up better scenarios to control board. There's also 2Ks like the new Trafalgar Law from OP12 or Nosuke from OP05. However, even though Lamy can take 1 Dawn and turn it into 2 Dawn worth of power for you on play, it's not searchable, and truthfully, converting more power for Dawn is rarely as impactful to this deck as adding new ways to interact with your opponents. For Nosuke's Rush is cool, but our aggro version already has more than enough pressure, and it's hard to get our Dawn count up high and keep it high on the aggro. Speaking of interaction, we need ways to clear board from pesky characters that outclass ours, or to rein tempo in if our opponent was able to get in this game. That's where cards like OP05's Gamma Knife and EBO1's Conqueror of the 3 Worlds Ragnarok comes in. Gamma Knife is a 2-cost main event with Dawn minus 1. Give up to 1 of your opponent's characters minus 5k power for the turn. And trigger, ramp a Dawn active. And since it's Heart Pirates traded, both our 1-cost and 3-cost law can even search it. Even when we're not using it to take out a large threat, shrinking a mid-sized character to where 1 of our 2k power searchers can natty attack into it generates extra attack tempo that is well worth it. On the other end of the spectrum is Conqueror of the 3 Worlds Ragnaroku, a 5-cost main event with Dawn minus 1, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less, and trigger, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. This card is particularly great in our aggro version of the deck, where we again want to outvalue our opponents early, making it easy to smash into their face and clean up their board in combat. The turn they play something active that threatens to stabilize them, or where we can't control board through combat, this card comes in to clean up the extra bodies on board. And since we're a deck that Dawn minuses with shenanigans, we're going to need some Dawn ramp or recursion. And we want to be able to play them early or on curve in multiplay scenarios with our laws discounted. So the best cards for this are OPO5 Zoro, EBO1's Mr. 2, or OPO8's Charlotte Pudding. Each of them come with their own pros and cons, but I'd say for our aggro and best version of the deck, EBO1's Mr. 2 and Charlotte Pudding are the better to choose between, depending on how you want to prepare for going first versus going second, while the Zoro are better in our mid-range variant, where we want to get ramping early and potentially multiple times in that game. Now, I've made a lot of comparisons of this deck to Blue Buggy, and like Bucky, there's a very specific turn sequence we're looking to hit to have the best chance possible at winning with our aggro version of the deck, which again, in my opinion, is the best version. Now, we almost always want to go second for the best curve and card selection. On turn 1, that lets us search up to 2 times, then untap after taking a life and drawing an additional card, going to 4 Dawn, of which we can use 2 to search or equip the leader before using Leader's Effect on one of the non-activated Dawn to discount a 4-cost Law and play the Promo Law, recovering that Dawn on play. Then on 6 Dawn, we have 2 primary lines to lean on, but plenty more depending on the matchup. First is swing 7 with Promo Law by attaching a Dawn to it, trying to get your opponent to go to 7 cards in hand, then play a Mr. 2 or Charlotte Pudding, then activate Leader to discount your starter deck 10 Law and rip 2 cards out of their hand. Or, if they counter out of the 7k swing, or you don't have starter deck 10 Law to play, use Leader ability on the Dawn you gave to the Promo Law to discount either of your 7-cost Laws, preferably your OP10 Law if you can heal. Then we untap on 7 or 8 Dawn, depending on which line we took, with 3 or 4 attacks to clear board, or rip cards from hand. Then enough Dawn to follow it up with a Conqueror of 3 Worlds Ragnaroku to KO their 7-cost play, and using Leader's Effect with any extra Dawn to establish another 4-cost Law for 2. And on first curve, we follow a similar line with just less card selection opportunities, and 1 less Dawn, which changes mainly our turn 3 play, where we're on 5 Dawn and cannot cheat to play a 7-cost character as a result. So going for the best expansion of your board while ripping cards from the opponent is the best turn you can have there. Or, if you didn't establish a Mr. 2 Pudding or second Promo Law and are at 6 Dawn for the turn, simply take life aggressively with the Leader ability and protect your board, then tap out for a 6-drop Kuma on 6, or a Conqueror of the 3 Worlds Ragnaroku to stabilize, whichever one really helps you better in that scenario. These games get really dicey and usually come down to a 1-2 turn difference, you know? So make sure you practice your playlines with this deck and learn particular matchups that will give you more trouble than others. Decks like Red Rayleigh, for example, who we pray to the Kamazo gods that they will help us stabilize. Or Green Zoro, who just munches on your board the entire time, again while pressuring your life in the same turn. Green Zoro's leader mechanic kind of invalidates what our leader is doing, so don't get too frustrated if you struggle to convert those games. It's really, really rough. Meanwhile, decks like Yellow Kid or other decks that typically play singular, large threats turn over turn, black removal decks, and even Blue Purple Luffy are all relatively favorable matchups for our aggro version. The mid-range version wavers a bit more, but has a better time playing in the decks like Bello Betty and Red Zoro. And if you're looking for a place to start, here's my aggro list that includes the Promo Law. I firmly believe this list with up to a 5-card difference based on your expected metagame is the way to go. And if you're looking for something to jam right on release, maybe move to this more mid-range version of the deck that I was trying to work with. And if you're looking for more leader guides or more fun One Piece content, check out the channel and subscribe.